Multifamily Mindset
Podcast. Think bigger.
Welcome to the Multifamily Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Rucker, coach here at the Multifamily Mindset. If you're new, just joining us, welcome. We're excited to have you a part of our growing community. We deliver fresh content twice a week, 3 times a week now, with interviews with people that have been through our mentorship program, their success stories. We have Dallas, my friend and mentor, mindset mentor, come on and share and pull out mindset tips from those conversations and ones that you can implement in your life. And then on Fridays, we have coaches and Kyle Brown usually jumping on and sharing different tips to help you be successful in your multifamily business. And that's not all. Tyler Deveraux, the founder of the Multifamily Mindset, also has a podcast called Own the Outcome on Wednesdays, where he drops episodes with high-level individuals and their success. So whether you're here for the stories, the inspiration, or learning how to just be successful in this business, you're going to learn a lot. We're excited to have you here. So my guest today, I'm super excited to have them on. It's been fun to watch their journey through this process. And my guests are Justin and Gavin Mancini. Guys, welcome. Super excited to have you on and for our listeners to get to know you guys.
Hey, Zach, what's up? How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. Very good.
Awesome. Well, tell the listeners who you guys are. And when did you guys end up jumping into the multifamily mindset?
I'm Justin Mancini.
And I'm Gavin.
I'm the oldest of 5.
I'm the youngest.
He's the youngest and I'm the oldest. Yeah. If we'll jump into that, what got us started in multifamily. So my father is the mastermind kind of behind all this. He started with single family homes back, I think, before I was born. At most, he owned up to 11 single family homes at one point. Very busy man, and I used to help him out with like the repairs when I was younger.
Still do nowadays.
Yeah.
Usually
Child labor. Yeah.
I was gonna say child
Exactly.
labor. Yeah. So all the free labor he can have, but it was good. It was a fun time, and there was a lot of learning. But he sold some of his assets to just basically move into the house that he's in now, and he kind of slowed down because we have a family business as well. We're 3rd generation sheet metal business, HVAC, and he started to focus on that more. So he ran across the multifamily mindset
on YouTube, Tyler Deveraux himself.
Mhm.
And he's like, there's a seminar coming to a nearby town. Let's go see it. So we have 2 other brothers that came with us, and they're not here right now, but they'll make it.
Yeah.
We'll get them here.
Yeah. In the future, we'll hopefully have them. But yeah. So he said to himself after he was just kind of delving into the multifamily mindset stuff, he was like, "Why did I stop? Like, just why?" So obviously we went in and he liked it, and he looked at all of us and he's like, "So do you want to up your game?
Do you guys want to do this?
And we're like, "Yeah, sure." So long story short, we went through the mentorship. It was great. And yeah, we're basically here now. We have 2 properties underneath our belts, and
Took us 1 year to get one.
Mhm. Yeah. But yeah, so that was basically how we got into it. And yeah, unless I'm missing anything, but that was it. I'm extremely thankful for it. It's good. But yeah, so that's where we're at now and how we got into it.
Awesome. So yeah, to recap, your dad did some single family homes, got to a point where he was pretty busy, kind of almost maxed out with how many homes he was doing, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
downsized it a little bit to, obviously benefit from it. And then Tyler pops up on YouTube, typical
Yep.
Tyler, but
Yeah.
pops
Beautiful
up and
ball
then that's right. And and he with his past experience was able to just share that with you guys of why did
Mhm.
I stop? Like, if you guys want to up your game, like this is a great path to go.
Yeah, yeah, it's uh through like the family business and whatnot. It's like there's five of us boys that are going to be coming into the business. So he was also kind of thinking ahead too for us, being like,
The what
there's
ifs
yeah, yeah,
or
is the
things go
what
wrong.
ifs. And like even if there's that many of us in there, what's kind of like the supplemental work that we can give ourselves to benefit of ourselves. So that I kind of realized after, and I was like, wow, like, all right, like you kind of got it figured out. So yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Personally, I was planning on following in his footsteps with the single family, but we
Mm,
stumbled upon this and we're like, this is way better.
much, much better. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a whole different
Nice.
ball game, of course, but it is much better.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome that he kind of had that vision for you guys. One, continuing with that family business, getting you guys involved, but then, okay, what else? Like, we're getting to this point. What else can we do to expand that? And real estate is that great asset class to be able to jump into and help expand in any aspects going forward. So with that, you guys, jumped in, and then you did mention you've been in. It took you a year to do your first deal, and now you've done another deal after that. How long has it been? Have you guys been in about a year and a half that since you joined, or?
Yeah, roughly around there.
Yeah, we
I think it was June, June 1st through 3rd, we did our 3 day
yes, yeah,
Okay,
of year and a half ago, whatever.
yeah.
yeah, year and
And
a half ago.
yeah, yeah. And then through that we went through the coaching and whatnot. It was good. And when we're all done with it, we basically did like the underwriting for 6 months straight. We wanted to understand that. And we found this one really, really, really good property. Everything was green and everything was looking great. And it was like the first one ever. And we're like, wow, like we actually came across something. And
We didn't have anything ready.
we didn't have anything ready.
Squat.
So that can actually lead into the next
And
thing.
that was our breaking point of, all right, something needs to change.
Mhm.
Like we reached this step, but we're stuck.
Yeah.
We got to go further.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that's when we saw a Facebook post on MFM of someone like, hey, I want to put together a team challenge, 100 days, 100 doors.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay. So let's pause on that. So you guys spending all this time going through the mentorship, learning it, underwriting deals. You found a deal, and it checked off. It was green. Like, it's hard to come by
Yep.
those sometimes.
Oh yeah, very. It
And
was yeah. Mhm.
yeah, how many do you guys have? Like, have a count of like how many deals you looked at, or at what point was this into
Uh,
it?
I'd say like 20 or
I
so
feel
deals.
like it was around 20,
Yeah.
around that number.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And then that's when we realized like we need a network. We need help. Like, yeah, it's the three of us, but you do need a bigger team. And
Mhm.
so, and thankfully your guys' network obviously
Gave
supplied
it to
it.
us, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it
That's
did.
perfect. Hey, listeners, thank you for tuning in to the MFM podcast. We truly appreciate your support and hope you're enjoying the insights from our incredible guests. We have one small favor to ask. Please leave us a review and rating. Your feedback means the world to us. And to show you our appreciation, we're giving away some great prizes to some lucky listeners who leave us a review. So scroll down, share your thoughts, and help us continue to bring valuable content. Thanks, and back to the show. And that's key, for our listeners to know is like it's one thing to
Mhm.
jump in and learn this business and to build that knowledge base, but then to go out and act upon it and try to achieve it. This business does separate from single family. Like your dad did it by
Mhm.
himself, right, and was
Yep,
able to
yeah.
to do that. And there's a lot of people that jump into this that have done single family, short-term rentals, whatever it may be, and they can handle that on their own. You jump into the larger properties, apartment complexes. that's a huge jump. You need a team to be able to tackle that and to put all the pieces together. As you guys realize, you spend all the time learning, acting by like finding deals, right? That takes a good part. And you had your little team, but then you realized, okay, there's still some pieces we're missing to be able to actually full circle close this in and get a secure deal. And that's the power of a network. The power of a network is to connect you with other people striving after the same goals that have different skill sets that can help you put the pieces together. And I think that's a piece that a lot of people miss out on. Is it's not just about learning and acting in your own, it's finding people that help you in that path. And that's the difference too with this industry versus a lot of other industries. It's like we're here to help each other grow together versus compete a whole ton with each other. So with that, then you guys said you found someone that was like, I want to put a team together and do 100 doors in 100 days. So I know listeners, if you heard it before, like it's probably a trend, you've heard a lot. But let people know, like, what is this 100 days and 100 doors in 100 days?
So basically, we meet for 100 days straight, just talking about real estate, finding properties, talking to brokers. We kind of piece it out to whoever taking up roles, because we had about what 10-ish people.
We started with, I think, like 14, and then like the next day it was down to, I think, like 9 or 10, I believe. Yeah. And even less though, right? Count on my hands. I don't know. But yeah, around there, 9 people. And then including us, we stayed and then we buckled down and we were all just learning together.
And man, 100 days straight, it is hard.
Yeah.
Even
It
weekends.
was worth it.
Yeah.
But it was worth it.
Yep. Yeah. Every single day, the weekends. It's a good practice for what's a good word? I don't know. Just
Discipline.
yeah.
Mindset.
A form of discipline, which actually puts you into the mindset. And I'll admit, it's like of course, there's days just like you don't want to do it. Like I'm just tired, but it's like we're very thankful for it because it's like when you're in this type of game, like you need to just like Tyler constantly says, you need to have the mindset and yeah, you do.
Yeah. I mean, it pushes you with that. And it's to come back to the fact that it's a business that you're starting, right? And if it's truly a business that you want to start and run, like you got to commit to it. As entrepreneurs, like you got to commit to what you want to build and put the time and effort that it takes to do that. So 100 days and 100 units in 100 days or 100 doors. I keep messing up the tile, but 100 days straight, right? Of spending time, committing to it, and then having accountability there, I'm sure is what helps, right? If it was just you guys working on it, I'm sure you'd be like, oh, we got some family stuff. Like, that's fine. We'll put it off.
Yeah.
But the fact that you get other people that are also committing to it and they're holding you responsible, and then you're holding them responsible, that's a different level of commitment that helps push you to the next level. Right? So what was the outcome? So you did the challenge. Did you end up getting 100 doors?
Yes, not in the 100 days, but our next deal after put us over at 110 units. So we technically got our goal with the same group of people. So
yeah. And
both deals.
I'd say probably like 3 weeks after the 100 days, 100 doors, we were kind of lucky because within the group, we actually had a sponsor in the group. So if you want to call it luck or fate, he was pretty patient. He was pretty patient with us because he did actually offer like, hey, like I have some deal flow if you guys want to take a peek, but if the group is kind of like we kind of still want to look at some things ourselves and they fell through a couple times and then we were like, you know what? Like, why not? So he basically ran us through and we all made the agreement of like, all right, like we'll join this with you. And like it's been an honor, honestly, for the privilege of him actually being with us with those 100 days, and him being like, you know what, like, why not?
And I got to have him give me his experience of underwriting as well,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah,
under that deal. So that was like my first real deal that I got to underwrite almost all the way.
almost.
His guy, his underwriter, topped it off, but it was definitely a great learning for me
Mhm.
That's
for
awesome.
underwriting.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome to bring someone in and to help just guide you there, right? Help put the final pieces to it that you might not have thought of at the time, and to put those final touches. But that's awesome that you're able to underwrite that and get that support there. Well, I mean, that's awesome. You guys were able to close. So those two deals, and that was with the same group. So you found this group,
Yes.
you worked together for 100 days. Obviously, some people filtered out and fell off, but also what that showed is, who's committed to this and who's going to push through to get this done, which helped you identify, okay, these are good team members. Like let's tackle some deals
Yeah.
together
Yep.
because
Yep.
you guys are committed and you spent 100 days consecutively together every day, right? You get
It's
to
like
know,
family right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're stuck with
Uh-huh.
them, right? So you learn how to work with them and put the pieces together. So I mean, that's awesome. Was there anything else that you kind of learned from that, or kind of takeaways from going through that process, or just the deals that you guys have been able to close on?
Are you anything? I'll
Well,
start.
from when we started, we in the beginning, as you know, you're learning. We were not doing anything like where we needed to do, like that was a weird word, but we weren't doing what we needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
we were missing a lot, but we figured that out. We had our days. We're like, all right, this isn't working. What else can we do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we figured it out.
It's just learning together, like of the steps of like, all right, like how do we make progress?
Yeah,
Like,
be more efficient
yeah.
with our time because we
Mhm.
were spending a
Yeah.
lot of time with them.
Just like talking about the same thing over here and there, and it just basically learning how to communicate with the group. So that was
Mhm.
it was really nice. It was really nice to learn with the group. Very luckily we got like extremely patient people, and it was, yeah, it was good. What else? Uh
I think that's a big point that you just pointed out is like the communication aspect. Just
mm,
learning how to communicate with different people, and that have different perspectives, and especially in a group setting,
mm,
there's 10 of you there that you guys were able to communicate effectively. A lot of people
mhm.
say, "Yeah, that's too many people. That's too many people and too many opinions, and we're not going to, actually be able to move the needle and find a deal." But you guys were
Yeah.
able to figure out that communication aspect, and figure out each other's strengths, right? Like you guys divvied
Mhm.
out roles and were able to communicate that effectively. How do you present that? And that's something I focus on emphasizing with people is, as an underwriter, sometimes you nerd out in the spreadsheets and you don't know how to communicate that with someone that doesn't like looking at the spreadsheet and it's confusing to look at. How do you
Mhm.
how do you how do you pull the story out of the numbers, right?
Yeah.
And so, um, just that aspect of you guys being able to communicate your guys' different opinions and views and be able to agree as 10 people to move forward with the deal is that's a
Mhm.
huge milestone in itself, that you're able
Yeah.
to accomplish that. So with
Mhm.
all that, like what are you guys up to now? You've been able to close those two deals. I'm sure they're probably cruising along. You got anything else in the works?
So, what we just closed a couple of months ago, on the second deal. Right now, there's really nothing in the works. Um, the property management team that we have, like, where she's excellent, they're great. But we're also now starting to learn with them a little bit. We're kind of diving deep within their systems and just trying to slightly kind of tweak some things. But right now, we're just taking a break.
We're trying to build our investor list right
Mhm.
now, especially with this
Yep.
little time we got.
Mhm.
But I think this coming first term of the year, we're gonna have something. So
Through the quarter,
yeah.
yeah. And plus with the group that we work with, like they know that their people and like um how their funds work and the people that they work with, like as you know, it's the holiday season and everybody
Mhm.
gets their bonuses and whatnot. And if you're working hard enough and if you keep in touch with your contacts, like, hey, they might throw some capital our way. So we're kind of taking a break right now. But yeah, other than that, we're just doing the meetings with the property managers and the monthly meetings over the properties. And yeah, it's a good little break.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
No, no,
it. Yeah.
it is a good time. Yeah. It's a good time to take a quick break as holidays are coming in, especially meeting with potential investors. Like everyone's a
Mhm.
little bit busy there. And then, it'll be big changes here in 2025 with
Yeah.
the changeover of presidency as well. So we'll see some
Yep.
changes in sentiment from investors and sellers, owners of properties, if they're going to start opening the doors a little bit as well. So I know it's been a slow period ending the year, but you guys were able to close something a couple months ago, and
Mhm.
that's awesome. That's sweet to be able to close on this year. That's been a little bit on the slower end, but definitely people are closing deals, and you guys were able to close 2 deals this year, and that's awesome. That's just going to keep you guys moving forward with it. Awesome. Well, I like to ask at the end 3 questions. I call them the think bigger questions. So, first question is, how do you choose to think bigger?
Hmm. Okay. How do I?
That's kind of worded funny.
Yeah. So how do I choose to think bigger? Um, I guess I'll just answer my answer just off the cuff. Um, Thinking bigger to me is a constant evolving process. So I'll answer
Mhm.
with that. So for me, if I were to think bigger, um, it would just be focusing on my end goals and how I can reach them quicker. And I always think bigger for myself too. How can I help myself in a positive way in my life personally that my work self can also use to better where I'm going to be heading in the future with all of this? That may be a little philosophical answer,
Hey, no,
but
that's a great answer. I love that.
yeah,
No, it's a good
it's
answer.
it's
It's
that's a very
folk.
big answer.
Yeah, no, no,
But
no. I
yeah.
mean, focusing on your personal goals and achieving those that are going to also relate to business and your
Mhm.
business endeavors. I think that's definitely a way to think bigger. Is also to just
Yeah.
bring it back to scale of what's one thing I can do today that's going to help my future
Yeah.
self.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. No, and
Yeah.
and I know I just threw that one on you. So good
No, no,
answer,
it's
Gavin.
okay.
Gavin,
Uh,
anything to answer that?
mine's kind of the same as his. I'm just not gonna go as more philosophical about it. But it's thinking bigger for me is like, what do I want down the road in my life? What do I want to achieve? Just what are the things I want to have? And that's kind of just what pushes me is just like, I want this. Like this is,
Mm,
I need this in my life.
Mhm. That's
mm.
yeah.
I like that.
Short, sweet.
Oh, nice. Yep.
Short and sweet.
Nice. Okay. Second question is another one to throw a curveball your ways. How do you define success?
Hmm. Success. Um, well, obviously there's a classic just when you're meeting your goals and they could be personable, um, well, if, if they could be work goals or if personal goals yourself. But to me, my now that's an extremely easy answer. What defines success in my life? Waking up every morning, just smiling, just
There you
knowing
go.
that I'm in control for what I can control, and I'm happy about it. That's yeah, and just what I'm doing along the way that helps the process.
I'd like to just branch off that and say it's the like little steps. even like moving to the bigger picture.
Mm,
It's the little steps that is a success.
small things.
Mm,
But yeah,
I love
that's
that.
mine.
Yeah. Like even
Yeah.
underwriting your first deal, even if it's like it's not even good, you just that's one step up.
Hmm.
Like that's a success.
Yeah.
Even if you make
Yeah.
a mistake, that's a success.
That's right. It's learning, right? I mean, each opportunity, each day is a learning and a day to continue to learn something. Whether you can look at it as a failure, but it's a learning. And so I like to turn those around and say, oh, it's a success. I learned something today, right?
But what is the success for you?
What is a success for me?
What does success mean for you? You kind of didn't answer
I know.
it.
Like we're so our brains
Yeah.
are linked
Are
kind
very
of, so
much alike,
they're
but
similar.
see if you can. Because now I'm
I,
curious. Oh,
yeah,
because I
yeah.
work with them every day,
Define
so I kind
success.
of want to know this. Yeah. No, really, I do.
Damn, I'm blanking hard.
I
Well, we can do it if you
think
want.
about it. Think about it. I'll ask this last question, and if you have something else,
Yeah.
we'll come back around. But last question is, what is your best advice you can give a new multifamily investor student?
Hmm. Do you want to start?
Learn first things first, learn how to underwrite. And second, find your team because
Yeah.
you're gonna need them
Yep.
because they're out there somewhere in that network.
Yeah. When for me, any advice I'd give, and what I've been giving a lot to the newer members, especially when we spoke with Jim Anderson, is to go off of what he said, is to find a team. You can't really do this alone. There's been so many people that I've met who think that like, oh, like I could do this alone. And when I was at a 3-day event, the amount of people that said, oh, like I could just do this alone, and I'm kind of biting my tongue from just running up to the person being like, you just can't. You can't. So find your team, definitely network, because you'll need it. And don't be afraid of it because they'll need you too. And have patience with yourself because it can be overwhelming, but only you get to choose how much this can overwhelm you. But always constantly keep on going. Um, just always make a step forward. There's a person that actually I've been talking to on the side that I met at an event, and we talked for like about a month straight, and I've been helping him along, and I was just like, you just got to keep going and network. I kind of went off there, but yeah, that would be my advice.
Hmm, really good. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, those are big. I mean, we could dive into each aspect of those, but it really is. Yeah, keep going, network, really rely
Mhm.
on a team. You can't do this
Yeah.
alone. You definitely need people to help you tackle this, whether that's um, your internal team, your external team. Like you need people either way
Yeah.
to be able to accomplish it.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Anything else to add, Gavin?
Find success.
No,
Success.
that's
Um,
perfect. No, that's good. Um, no, I mean, with that, I appreciate you guys jumping on and sharing your knowledge and your story. I mean, it shows from you guys and your dad with going through the family business to adventuring off
Mhm.
into multifamily and growing that, and you guys being able to work together, especially as the oldest and the youngest, siblings. That's
Oh yeah.
sometimes.
for the age difference, I'm 20, you're what, 32,
33.
3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Our family, we're thick as thieves is yeah. So yeah. If we work together good in the family company, which we do, I'd be miserable if I didn't work with my family. Honestly, I love it. So yeah.
We're
And
a power team on a job site, I will tell
yeah.
you that
Oh
much.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well, let's
yeah.
before we close, and I typically end after that, but I wanted to and I should have asked this earlier, but like how is that dynamic, working as a family? One with your family business, you have that experience there. But then also starting this new venture, how has that been for you guys, working in that dynamic?
So um I find myself doing multifamily work while I'm at work. thankfully my father's my boss. So sometimes he'd be like, hey, just get off that proposal. And so
We
it's,
double time it.
yeah,
We
so
do a little both.
it's a lot more work. It definitely is, because I find myself always saying, like, boy, the people who do this multifamily full time, it's like, whew, like you have to do it full time. Like almost. It's yeah. But for the dynamic of it, within the family business, we kind of kept it quiet for a little bit because we have some other family in there. So it was kind of the deal of like, let's get structured first. And when we have a deal down, that's when we can tell people, hey, like we've been doing this on the side and all that stuff. But
Right.
it's 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 a balancing act. But it's tough. Oh, excuse us. Hey Taya. Hey. Sorry, can take over for a minute. But yeah, it's a balancing act. But ironically, with the family unit we have, there's no extra stress. And we do bounce off each other a lot, which I'm very happy to have.
That's the good thing is
Yeah.
like we can hold each other accountable.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah, and the fact that you guys are working together in the family business, so you know what your responsibilities are there, and on top of that, you can, communicate effectively of like, okay, your workload's here in the family business. We can
Yeah.
easily kind of navigate what that looks like on the investment side and what that of growing that business. So
Yes, yeah, yeah. I've thought about that actually quite a bit of just what what from the family business side, when it comes into our hands, what can we do to mutually benefit, yeah,
Meld them together.
yeah, like in a fashion so they're mutually beneficial to each other. And it's a lot, but I don't want to think about it right now because that's thinking a little too big right now. And it's out of our control, but yeah.
we'll get there. You'll
It's a
get
lot.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I even call him on our breaks. I'm like, hey, we got to do this today, by the way. Like,
Mhm.
like make sure you look at this.
Yeah. And I'll be
He's
like,
like,
oh, okay. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I forgot about that.
It's because we're so busy with the multifamily and then obviously within the family business. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a good flow and I'm
Mhm.
thankful for it.
Yeah, it sounds like it. That's awesome. Well, thanks so much for sharing your guys's again your story, your experience, and congrats on the success so far. I know you guys will just continue to crush it and grow it, and then you'll have two family businesses and
Yeah.
keep growing from there. And
Definitely.
that's gonna be neat to see that. And it's been fun watching you guys in this process. So, with that, what's the best way, maybe listeners, if they want to reach out and connect with you, what's the best way they can connect?
Our website, that'll be meadowlandsinvestment.com. And anybody can find me on Facebook, Justin Mancini.
Gavin Mancini on Facebook as well,
Yeah.
and LinkedIn. Same
Yeah.
thing for both
Yeah.
of us.
And on LinkedIn, those are the best two. Anybody can email us or just chat us through our website. And if anybody has any questions or just, I don't know, just wants to chat, we'll be more than happy to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, thanks so much for jumping on, guys. Appreciate you guys. And for listeners, I hope you guys have a happy holidays, and we will see you next time.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you.
Multifamily Mindset Podcast. Think big.